Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Lourdes is back.
Yay! Oh, thank you, guys. I missed you guys. I did. 2 weeks was
nice to have you back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. It's nice. I'm tired of 2 weeks of having to say I'm Ron and Lourdes.
He lost weight while I was gone.
Yeah. So learning how to cook is overrated.
Agreed.
Loneliness is a very good diet.
That is funny.
True.
Miss Cherie working?
Yeah, unfortunately. She is.
Hi, folks. Melissa and Courtney and Raul is there. Roger.
Brother.
Anthony.
Todd and Carmela.
The gang.
Anthony, how you doing? Chris, say it. Yes, say it.
How you doing?
Okay, there you go. Now carry on.
So normally we start the show by talking about what we did last week while we were between shows, right? I'm going to start this one off a little different because Tony and Ron and Lourdes and Cherie have done something with Staticom. We're going to do, let me get this pulled up. So we're going to do an EVPE Staticom show on the 26th, Monday the 26th.
Ah.
But I want you guys to mention just a little bit for anybody that might not have seen your posts, what you guys played with. What'd you guys do? You played with Staticom, but
yeah, you know, Staticom is groundbreaking compared to other methods of communication. But of course, the research never ends. The improvements never end. And the one area that both Ron and I discussed is that anytime clarity can be improved, anytime background noise can be diminished, anytime the clarity of the message can be to the point where, I mean, I heard Ron say this on the show he just did, but as close as we can get that to Edison's phone to the dead is the end scenario for Staticom. Mm-hmm. And I spent probably the last month maybe playing around with various changes. And the funny thing is that if you change, like, let's say a mod within the setup, it affects every other mod. And every single dial, you can turn it so small that you couldn't even measure that amount of turn.
Yeah.
And the effect can be quite extensive. So I was playing around. Finally thought, okay, I'm liking what I'm hearing. I did maybe a 37-minute test run. And then, of course, I recorded. I went back and I heard what I had captured. And, of course, got a hold of Ron and Lourdes and said, okay, here's the changes, implement them. And Ron did. And, of course, it mimicked it perfectly. So we now have Staticom 2.0 because
yeah, damn right.
Just a minor change. It was very successful, and it has improved the clarity of it considerably. And I'm sorry if I'm not putting up your comments. Whoever's doing that, thank you, Chris. I'm assuming that's you or Audra, because without Cherie here and I'm talking, I'm like, I see the comments flipping by and I'm not paying attention to them. But that's what we did. And Ron, Lourdes, I don't know if you have anything more to say, but the improvement, I think, is worth talking about. And anybody who's listened to Staticom before will hear the difference.
Yeah, I have something to say. I'm going to say that this has been a passion project for us for almost 6 years, and we got it to a point most recently where I would agree with what Tony said. I think it was the most efficient and clear, long clarity, everything, the messages of any electronic spirit communication method available. I think we achieved that. But yes, we don't know, as Tony always says, we don't know the boundaries.
Right.
And we're still trying to see how far and how clear and how good can this be. And it is easy when you're doing something and you reach a certain level of success where it's rewarding and it's communicative, right? We've been functioning with Staticom. It's been impressive to us and others, and it's been enjoyable. But it's the mindset of somebody who's an innovator who will sometimes, in the midst of comfort, dislodge themselves from the recliner of progress and go, there still could be more. And I'm going to say this is something that we've been a part of. She and I started this 5-6 years ago. I've always said that the Rathmans getting involved in this thing helped. It moved things forward, and we developed a really good partnership with this methodology. But Tony made a huge contribution. We have both been testing for the last couple of weeks or months, and I made some notable improvements on certain things I was trying. Then he called me with what he thought were notable improvements, and I experienced it like I had never heard Staticom before.
He is Rathman.
Yeah.
Rathman did his thing.
When I tell you that we lucked out with having a partnership with two people who are, everybody on the show, this cast that you see us on here every week is our family, and for reasons beyond paranormal stuff.
Right.
But Tony's brilliant, and the Ghost Box community lost an asset when he jumped over to doing direct radio voice and Staticom, so and we're not giving him back.
Yeah, he's ours.
Because what he did was a significant contribution to leveling this up, and it's very easy to be complacent when it was efficient as it was already. And what he did, in our opinions, leveled it up. Well, yeah. And we are all four of us reinvigorated with what might be possible next and what's going to come out of it now. I did post a clip today from experimenting with it yesterday, and it said, can you guys hear me? And we can now. The voice said, like, immediately.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We can now.
We can now.
Yeah.
We can now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately, and it was very, very clear. So
very clear. Had tonality to it. I mean, every word in the entire sentence was audible, was clear, was at a similar depth and power strength. I mean, it wasn't bouncing up or down. I mean, sounded great.
Yeah. So, and Chris and Audra have been our support for this. They've been as enthused as we are. We appreciate everything that they've given to all of us as part of our EVPE, EVPI family. But yeah, I was hyped, and so make no mistake about it. We did hit what I think is a 2.0 version of this, and Tony really moved the ball forward on this.
Raul's funny.
The fiber optic version.
I appreciate. If you haven't seen the clips, you go to Tony's page, go to Entity Voices page, go to Southern Entities page. I reshared them on there. I shared Ron's clips that he posted today from it. Y'all, it's so clear. I called AT&T and I changed my cellular company to Staticom 2.0 because it's clearly
all that money goes to Tony and his metal detecting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find that treasure from Staticom 1.0 that they were telling me about.
So Todd and Carmela, Jenny Colucci, Raul from Tower, Wolf Doom, Anthony from Seekers, Piedmont, Rachel Ashman from the UK from Festival of the Unexplained just joined us now too. She says morning to all because it is morning over there. So Rachel Ashman, when I spoke to you about Staticom in the beginning, and I told you that we had a 4-person team, when we bring Staticom there in September, and we'll have other discussions about other collaborations, but maybe we come back to the UK another time or another festival. But Tony just did a huge service for everybody who's going to experience this when we come over there with it, because it was already good, but he made it incredible.
We are grateful.
So yeah,
I'm part of the team. I want to use the knowledge that I have with sound and with building spirit boxes to take what you did with DRV and make Staticom basically Edison's phone to the dead. And I know there's lots of academic people out there doing similar things. I don't want to mention any of the names just out of respect, but they keep talking about, what they plan to do.
Yeah.
We actually have it working. I mean, working and usable, and it has been for the last, DRV even longer than that, but Staticom the last year and a half. It's been fully functional. Now it's 2.0 version, and hopefully everyone will appreciate the change because
he's referencing a specific organization that has had. You ever see when people will announce that there's an announcement coming, and then that day comes and they announce there's an announcement coming, and they just keep kicking the can down the road. So we've not seen where it is this other. It's not the same as what we're doing, but it's supposed to be revolutionary, whatever, spirit communication kind of thing. And I don't think they've caught up.
It's always around the corner.
Yeah.
When then you get to the corner, it's on the other corner.
exactly.
Yeah.
Gerard Simonelli. Gerard Simonelli. Anthony's brother Gerard Simonelli's watching. What's up, Noodles?
Very cool.
Yeah, we missed
Todd, no, it wasn't just an adjustment. It was a wiring, you could say.
Reconfiguration
of the configuration, right?
Yeah, he safe to say, if you want some kind of an in detail, he gutted somewhere in the ballpark of 50% of the process. 50% of what we've been doing all along kind of stayed intact, and he gutted the other 50%, give or take. But the improvement was probably 150%. What came out of it. So, thank you, because this is how partnerships are built, and the relationships we have with everybody here, Chris and Audra, with you guys, is to us the standard for how you're supposed to behave when you care about people first,
right,
and projects and interests and passions second. So,
thank you. I appreciate that, and it'll do everyone good from this. You guys at your demonstrations, Cherie and I at ours, the ones we hopefully will get to do together. And eventually, and I know I keep saying that, I sound like those other groups I'm talking about, but at some point this will fall into the hands of the paranormal community. And at that point, everyone's going to benefit from it, because you'll be able to reproduce what we are doing today. We just haven't done that yet. And I think we've mentioned this before.
Well, this is because while you're choking, this is a prime reason, Tony, right? While you're choking, this is imagine you sold it to somebody a couple weeks ago in a box or something, and then you come out with this big thing, and all of a sudden it's like it's notably better.
Well, right, and we don't want to jump the gun on that. We want to give them what we think is our top end limit. But the bigger thing is questions. There are literally 4 of us. We all have full-time employment. We all are doing other various things. And the biggest concern right now is that when people come to us with 15 questions like, this isn't working for me, or what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
The manpower it would take to do that, we haven't figured out yet. I mean, do we set up a website? Do we give brief understanding of how it runs? Do we have a question and answer that hopefully your question is answered? But again, we're not there yet. So
that's true, and it wasn't designed.
That's what I was going to say.
We didn't to go to market.
Right. We did it for research, and it's
so
been working.
It continues to not be
Right.
the modus operandi behind what we're doing. It's not the driving force behind what we're doing, but we'd like it out in the community at some point when we feel like we've reached, that moment.
Right, exactly. But I appreciate the compliment. Let's hope this just does fantastic things. I think it will, and we'll keep an eye on Staticom and watch and see.
Yes, and thank you also to Chris and Audra for making it a point that we would exhaust our opening instead of with the awkward "I'm Ron." You got us away from that, and I would much rather sing Tony's praises and talk about what we're developing and doing than introduce myself in a very awkward way that makes me not want to know myself. So this was good, and thank you for doing that. You guys have always been strong supporters of the people that you care about, and if you don't see the support, people will know that you don't care about them, because when you care about people, it's you can't hide it. You can see it from Google Earth, and we appreciate it.
Well,
We love you guys, your family.
I mean, everybody on here, Cherie not included tonight, but you're all family, and that always comes first, no matter.
I'm Skippy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I'm Skippy.
we appreciate it. And Rachel Ashman, what did she say in her last?
She's excited to hear more, something like that.
Yeah, no, I'll post more. I'll send more. I did actually, Rachel, I did put the clip that I recorded last night with can you hear me? Go, yeah, we can hear you now, or we hear you now, or something. We can now. I put that clip in the festival page also for Festival of the Unexplained, and I tagged Tony in it once it got approved because I wanted them to know that there's 4 of us doing
It was great though.
You know what I hear?
Solved, Todd.
I hear voices in the background.
There's a few of them.
There's a few of them.
Hiding back there.
I don't think it's an EVP. You know what I think it is? I think it's our guests.
I think so.
And we have a good show tonight.
We do have a good show tonight, guys. We've got a great group of people. And usually I try and read their bios, but their bios are fantastic. Bios? Yeah. The bios is wrong. Well, it's a group of 4. It's Gina Dunham. It's Andy Lendway. It's Kyle Hurst and Maureen Lipsett. Unfortunately, Maureen couldn't be with us tonight, but we have Gina, we have Andy, and we have Kyle from Diamond State Ghost Investigators. Everybody say hello.
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 Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, guys.
No, our pleasure. You guys are a fantastic team. Obviously, I know Chris is going to want you to explain how you all got into the field so you guys can decide who goes first and let them know where you are, because you guys have a nice little territory. You guys run some really good events.
Yeah. Well, I should start off by saying the team actually started out in 2005 under our old team name of Delaware Ghost Hunters. So we actually rebranded in 2012 to Diamond State Ghost Investigators. I joined the team in 2009. I had a few minor experiences or dreams, if you want to say, when I was younger, and about a loved one who had passed away, who came back and gave me a message to pass on to another family member. But it was just more of a really probably a weird interest in what happens to you after you pass away. And so I just kind of got into the paranormal by just reading about it and watching the shows and things like that. So
Awesome.
Very cool.
Kyle.
Okay, so yeah, hey everyone, my name's Kyle. As far as what got me into the paranormal, that's a really interesting question. I would say I've always been fascinated with the thrill of being scared. When I was a little kid and my mom would take me to the video store, I was fascinated with the horror section. Just the pictures, it just always fascinated me. So then when I got older, I think what started it was there was this really old creepy house on the back roads by my house. And every time we rode by it, up in the top right window, there was a red light, and it freaked everyone out in the car. But I really wanted to know what it was. So Yeah. So
That didn't take long.
so we pulled over, and I mean this is out in the woods too. So I went into the house like I don't have that filter where I get scared very easily. So I went into this abandoned house and I went up into that room and there was nothing in that room. But we went out to the car and there's the red light again. You can see it clear as day. And making that connection where I see it compared to me telling a story and you guys not being there to see it, that's what fascinates me about ghost hunting is I'm there, I can see it, I can hear it, and it's way different from watching it on a TV show or anything like that. So that's exactly why I joined the group. I wanted to see evidence with my own eyes and hear it with my own ears. So that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's very cool.
I got into it because I was flipping channels one day and I saw Ghost Hunters, and I said, "This is something you can do." Apparently, when I was about 16, the house we lived in at the time, my dad saw a ghost, and he was never, there was no one ever talked like, oh, he believed in ghosts or anything like that. He got up in the morning, he saw a guy walking down the hall wearing a top hat, and he just disappeared. And at the time, I was kind of freaked out. So when I'd come home from school, they'd go, "Oh, we saw the ghost in your bedroom." The first in there, and I never thought much about it after that. And then I saw Ghost Hunters, and I was like, "Holy cow, this is something you can do." And I'm an artist for a living, so I was doing this. We have this, what's called the Brandywine Arts Festival. I was doing that one year, and I saw this guy who ends up being Gina's husband. He had a Delaware Ghost Hunter shirt, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they do this thing at Fort Delaware where you actually do ghost hunting. It's not one of those jump out and scare you things. You actually go and investigate for ghosts." I was in, and as soon as I could get on the team, I got on the team, and I've been there ever since.
Nice.
Fantastic.
That's cool. That's very cool.
So, guys, we're going to, since we took a few extra minutes in the beginning to talk about Staticom 2.0, we're going to jump right into evidence because they've got about 10 clips of some really good stuff.
Yeah, see, they delivered.
Yeah.
Dang.
I knew it. I talked to these people on the way to a video conference call. I went, they're going to bring it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Ron, I am staying at the Queen Mary in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
First time?
we got a room, so we're staying there overnight.
Very cool. I sent the message out. Let me send a follow-up. I was trying to reach Matt Schultz just to see if he's still there.
Yeah.
But either way, whoever's doing it, if it's not him, do the ghost hunt if you can. As long as if it's not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. If it's during the week, other than those days, they might not have it. You can still probably walk around and do stuff, but the tour will give you access to parts of the ship that you wouldn't otherwise get.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we'll have fun either way, no doubt.
You'll love it. It's an amazing place.
Yep.
And if they do the overnight one that goes until like 4 o'clock in the morning, take a nap so you last the whole time.
Because people dropping off our tour.
Because you start with about 35 people, but by the time you get to the pool, you're down to about 10.
Yeah.
That's when it gets good.
Well, it's funny because when we give our tours at Fort Delaware, some days I come in and I'm tired, but when I'm in the middle of an investigation, I'm wide awake. Unfortunately, as soon as you're done the investigation,
you crash and burn.
Yeah. But in the middle of the investigation, I'm pretty good, and we're staying at the Queen Mary. So as long as I can make it back to the room, I'll be all right.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
That's what we did. It's phenomenal.
You'll do it. Yeah, it's totally worth it. You're gonna love it.
Sweet.
Especially when you get in the belly of that ship. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with your image from FTD Shadow Crop and Shadow Large. And I'm going to share my screen so we can zoom in and out on this picture. So give me just a second.
That's good.
I was wondering how it was going to cram everybody off to the side like that.
Here we are.
Yeah, it fits.
It's tight.
We're all
right here.
On the bottom.
All right. So, do I really need to tell our audience what we found here?
Is that the fort?
Yep,
That
that's
is
Fort
the fort.
Delaware.
What a
And
cool
years
place.
ago, they used to put real lanterns around the fort for all the ghost tours. And I take a ton of pictures. Usually when I'm taking pictures, it's for my paintings and stuff.
Legs.
But these I would take pictures in case we need them for T-shirts. I got to do, whatever. So I took the picture. I was just taking a picture of the lantern, and I was the only person in the fort. So I get the shot, and I look at it real quick, and I go, "That's good." And I move to a lantern a few feet away, take a shot of that. Literally 2 years later, I'm going through the pictures to, maybe I'll use this for something, and I'm looking at the lantern, and I'm like, "What am I looking at in the corner of my eye?" And I see that thing in the background.
Yeah.
That's
I did the same thing with a photo of a partial apparition of a woman and a child from the Queen Mary. I found it like a year later almost.
Yeah.
Not even realize it was in the picture.
I
And
thought
you look at it and go, how did I not see that?
Yeah, but that was me too. Well, I was literally just looking at the lantern going, "Yeah, that's good." And then I wasn't paying attention to anything. But I was literally the only person there. And then the picture that I took of the lantern a few feet away, there's nobody back there. There's nowhere for anybody to be there.
No.
You could see it. If you use the other one and use the zoomed in version, you could see it better.
Yeah. And you can tell that this isn't like a motion shot where you caught somebody moving, because the lantern's perfectly clear. The door frames are perfectly clear.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's way off in the distance too. That's a good 50
And the sad thing is,
yards away.
we all as a team looked at that picture for a year and didn't notice that guy standing in the back for like.
Wow.
So we're not very good at what we do.
I saw it. I was just waiting to see how long it took for them to find it.
Yeah. Right.
It's like these people are dumb.
Here's what's interesting, and let me switch over to the zoomed in one.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though. Look
Here's
at
what's interesting.
He's gonna show.
Okay, before you say anything, Chris, let me ask a question. What state was this in?
Delaware.
This was at
Delaware.
Fort
Delaware.
Okay.
Yep.
And just out of curiosity, not that this would probably matter, but what month of the year?
October.
Okay. These two figures, and I see two.
Mm-mm.
I see boots,
Mm-hmm.
pants, heavy jackets, maybe even hats, like winter hats. I don't know if anyone else sees that, but they are heavily dressed.
Oh yeah.
Because I could see legs, and then you can almost see through the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can almost see a beard. I'd almost venture to say that this picture's more clear. You can almost see a beard.
Yeah, it was just weird that.
Do you know what else I see?
Nobody there. A lantern.
No, besides the lantern. This guy's only about 5 foot tall.
He's not very tall, right?
No. See, because your fencing is about shorter than your lantern, so this is only about 24 inches, right?
Mhm.
No. The
No.
fence is actually in the background. This is on a step
Yeah.
in the foreground. That
Okay,
fence,
so this is actually a 3 foot fence.
that's about a 3-foot fence. Yeah.
Okay. So this is an 8 foot door.
It's actually a little taller.
It's actually a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think he's very tall.
So that still makes him about 5'8", 5'9". Yeah.
He's a
It
little
was just I wasn't thinking about anything. I'm like, no, I'll get a good shot of a lantern and move on.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you did. But
Yeah, lit it for years.
But that's what happens. Yeah. You don't notice it until you notice it years later.
yeah.
Is the fort known for pirates at all?
What was that?
What?
Is the fort known for pirates at all?
No.
No.
No. Also,
There's even
Because it almost looks like he's got a peg leg.
Could be. I don't know.
But if he'd have lost his leg in a battle, that could have been it too.
it could also be partial manifestation.
Yeah.
But we actually went and tried to recreate it just to see if
Oh, there's no way you
I don't
can do
know.
that.
There's literally nobody there, but we just try like, is there something causing a shadow somehow from somewhere? But there's nothing.
Well, you can tell by this picture that it's not a shadow being cast on the wall because you can see the edge of the frame. You can see the edge of the trim on the frame.
Yeah,
And if it was a shadow, it would have drowned that out.
yeah.
Right.
Even the head part of it too, right? The coloration doesn't match the gray bar that's going through it in the background, right? See the gray bar inside the window frame or the gray tone?
Correct.
Where the head's supposed to be, it's a different color. It's almost on par with the brick, but for no reason that it would be that color inside the wall.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to your point, Ron, these are not shadow figures. These are full color apparitions.
Yeah, it is. And it's in front of that window. It's not being cast onto it. It's in front of it. You can tell.
Correct.
Well, you can see down here at the bottom where his foot is. It's a good 2 to 3 feet in front of the bottom of that wall back there. You can see it. It's almost to that landing right there.
Yeah, it's literally on the step or the sidewalk.
And the other side of the lantern is a white shadow. Can you pull it back?
The right side?
What over here?
Ooh, this maybe?
He said the other side of the lantern.
I know, but that's also the
Right here.
On
He might be
that?
referring to
That could be staining on the
Yeah,
that's
no,
just
that's the brick is stained.
That's what I'm seeing over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can see
We
it.
get a lot of that from the Fort people who bring us pictures from.
Yeah, it's from
We always tell people to take pictures, take 3 or 4 at
one.
least,
In a row.
because we'll get people bringing us one shot and they'll be like, "Oh, I think this is a ghost of a lady," and I'll be like, "Pretty sure it's a stain on the wall." And if they don't have other shots to compare, but usually we know where they are, so we go, "No, it's right there. It's a stain on the wall."
You know what? The more I look at this, it doesn't look like a peg leg. He's walking.
That's what I thought. Like he's about to step down.
Yeah.
He's got a stride going.
He's pushing off with that back foot. He just landed that front foot. He's walking towards the camera.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's
I
what
would agree with that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I've talked to myself, and we agree amongst me that we agree with that.
We were all arguing at first, but I won.
Yeah, that's right, said I.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's way too far for the lantern to be casting a shadow down there as its own light source, no less.
Oh, there's no way.
It wasn't even quite dark yet. It was still.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but even this is literally from this lantern to where that guy's standing is a good
50 yards.
50 yards, maybe.
Yeah.
So this little lantern's not causing any shadows back
For
there.
the Super Bowl minded from yesterday, that's about half a field.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't talk to Kyle about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I take it he's a 49ers fan.
Yeah, he is.
It's funny because we asked that what team won and it said Chiefs.
Yeah. Tony, with the new Statacom, we asked what team won, and some voice said Chiefs.
Immediately. Yeah.
Really?
At a time.
That's really incredible because normally they don't give future information.
Oh, it wasn't
No. It
future.
was after. It was after.
It was after.
Oh, okay. Then that
It
makes
was after.
perfect sense. Then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after.
Great catch, guys.
Yeah. Great.
That's a really cool picture.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Well,
Our
it's all
favorites.
luck.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So the clearest shadow figure I ever saw was at Fort Delaware. So I mean, Fort Delaware is notorious for it, but I'll give you a quick story. I was in the casemates, and you know how every time you see a shadow figure, it's like in the corner of your eye, and you're like, "What?" And you look, and it's like gone, and you question, "Was that real?" This shadow figure I saw, I was shining a flashlight down at the end of the hall, and this figure is in my flashlight. So I actually have time to process. I see this, and I actually have time to move the flashlight back and forth, and it just stayed right in the flashlight. And then right as I started to walk towards it, you could see it just move out of the flashlight, and it was gone. But I've never been able to focus on a shadow figure like that. But that happened at the fort too. So
You're going to a good location for that, because the only time I ever got a shadow figure in a photograph was at the door to the engine room in one of the lower gallery areas that used to also be an engine room, and it was this hooded Reaper looking shadow figure standing in the doorway. You can see like the little bony hand like by the door. It's really creepy.
In the Queen Mary.
In the Queen Mary.
There you go.
That's what I was taking. So keep your shadow figure eyes and flashlights prepared because you're headed for somewhere that has them.
We really met up at the right time. Like I said, I'll be out there in a week and a half, so that'll be awesome. I'll take lots of pictures.
Yeah, I would take them in the threes like that because there are the 2 pictures I ever got of anything visual: the shadow, and then the partial apparition of the woman and kid was looking through the window of the observation bar upstairs. The only 2 pictures I ever got that were anything was on that ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, lots of pictures. You got it.
Take lots of pictures.
All right. The next piece we have is Woman's Voice. You guys want me to play it and then we'll talk about it?
Voice.
Might be a
Yeah, I think it's
it might be Trans-Allegheny.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. One of our favorite places. So let's go ahead and play it and then we can talk about it.
Whoa.
Yep.
Wow.
Trans-Allegheny.
Wow.
That was some serious resonance environmentally bringing that out too, right? From the echo environment.
That's what it sounded like. Can you play that one more time? I want to hear that again.
No.
Yeah. No.
Once
You get one time.
Answer me this question. What floor was this on?
that was actually the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you've been to Trans-Allegheny. It's like the
Oh, yeah.
L shape, and we were at the top in the, I don't even know what to call it, the top of the stairs there, the foyer or whatever it
It's
is.
kind of like the more nicer finished area where the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The administrative areas in between the
Yeah,
hallways.
so we broke up into groups of 4, and the 4 of us were sitting in the middle there talking
Just on
and
the
asking
floor.
questions. And I put my recorder about halfway down the hallway, and you know how long those hallways are.
Oh, yeah.
And that came from there. We had another one I think the same woman sounds like she's saying, "Oh God."
We have a lot of our viewers have been there, and of the 5 usual 6 of us hosting this show, Chris and Audra are the only 2 who have been to Trans-Allegheny. But Anthony Seminelli, I know, and I think Piedmont Wright have been there also.
We've been there twice.
We were there.
We love it.
We were there. So we started like 8:45, I think, and ended at like 5. And you know how tired you can be after that long. I could have gone 10 more hours.
Investigated
It was just nonstop. It's unbelievable.
The energy is amazing.
Oh,
Yep. Wow.
Let's play that one again. Here we go.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's creepy, man. That's creepy. When she goes, like, you hear that, right? That's creepy.
It was awesome. You said you put that at the end of the hall, and you guys were down at the other end.
it was about
You
halfway
can hear you
down.
guys talking down at the end of the hall.
Yeah, you
but
can
that
hear
sounded
them.
right on top of it.
Yep.
Mhm.
It has echo to it.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
It is creepy.
You got a couple-
You got to
I
get
like
one.
to play it for my wife because a lot of times she'd be like, I don't know if I hear what you hear, stuff in the background or whatever. And I would play like that one and the other one for her. And she'd have the headphones on and she'd be listening to it and she would go, oh. Like she heard it. Yeah.
That's what I did. I was like, what?
That's what she did.
So you got another one from Tala, the high heels one, and I like this one because I actually have an EVP from Tala of boots walking down a hallway. So let's go ahead and play this one. What's that?
Was yours the 4th floor?
No, the one I caught was on the 1st floor.
Oh.
The 1st floor down towards the 1800 section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Wow, look at that. That's a 35 or more year, dare I say, veteran of the paranormal, Anthony Seminelli. He puts that place at the top of his list of haunted locations.
I'm going to go on record as saying I've been doing it for over 26 years, And that is the most haunted location I've ever been in.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
hell, we used to have the keys to the Aho Hospital. So
And that was haunted.
it's the first time ever in my 26 years of investigating that I saw 3 shadow figures in less than a minute and a half. And I'll tell that story here in a minute. Go ahead and play your clip.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I got high heels walking down the hall one day.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, that was loud.
The footsteps, right? Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the best part about that clip. And anybody that's ever investigated carrying a digital recorder,
Mm-hmm.
you hear it moving when you're moving,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then you stop. So if it was the person holding the recorder continued to walk, catching their own footsteps, you would have heard the recorder moving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was clear.
They were
doing the
actually
same thing.
sitting still,
Mhm.
and one had one of our investigators had a real time audio on, so she could hear it, of course, even louder. And they all heard it. And it wasn't until she turned and said something to him, like, "I'm hearing footsteps," that they were like, yes, like they were all hearing it. But they were all sitting perfectly still on the floor, listening to these, what sounds like high heel footsteps, which, the nurses back then wore those, little high heel shoes.
Mhm.
Could have been a nurse coming down.
Yep. And I caught my recorder was sitting on one of my red buckets in the 1800 section, and I was 2 doors down, and I could audibly hear him coming towards me.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I actually yelled out to Audra, and I went, "Are any of you guys moving?" And she's like, "No, why?" And I said, "There's something walking towards me."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, we had, as soon as we started, the 4 of us were up on the 4th floor. Actually, was Kyle there? No, you weren't.
No, it was Fred and Melissa.
And we were listening to someone down the hall. You can't see anything. We were listening to them coming, and they're getting closer and closer, and they started to almost run. And the 4 of us are literally staring, going,
Into the
"Who the
dark.
heck is coming at us?"
Yeah.
Then you hit the flashlight. There's nobody there. But the recorders didn't pick it up.
Oh,
But you
wow.
could hear the 4 of us on the recorders going, "Yeah, there's someone coming. I can hear them coming." It was crazy.
Yeah.
And the recorders couldn't pick it up.
I got there in the aftermath of that when everyone was running towards me. Everyone was running from it. And like I said, I wanted to see what it was, so I went a little further down. I'm a little nervous, but there was nothing there, nothing at all.
That 4th floor is crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
right.
we were on. I'll make this as quick as I can because I know I drag things up. We were on the 3rd floor in Dean's room, and we were doing a Estes session, and we were also doing a REM pod, and we were getting responses from Dean. And I felt something out in the hallway. I said, "Is there something out in the hallway?" And the REM pod went off. So somebody goes, "Dean, do you want Chris to go out in the hallway and see what it is?" The REM pod goes off. So I stepped out into the hallway. And I'm looking all the way down at the end of the hallway, where the exit sign is, and it has that little sitting area by the windows where you turn to go to the opposite.
Mhm.
And a shadow figure walked through that red light. And I'm like, "Holy shit, I just saw a shadow figure at the end of the hall." I'm getting chills now. And then I felt creepy next to me, and I turned, and the room across the hall, not you.
He just told you creepy girl.
I got this creepy sensation next to me, and I turned, and the room across from Dean's room out in the hall, there was a 5-foot tall shadow figure standing in the center of the room. I'm like, "Jesus Christ, you guys, there's another one." And then I turned and looked back down the hallway, and on the wall, this black mist formed about 5 foot, 5'6" on the side of the wall, and it pulls away from the wall and comes out to the middle of the hallway. And I went, there's a 3rd shadow figure just formed in mist in front of me. And one of the investigators stepped out with a full spectrum camera and snapped a photo. I have a photo of that mist.
Oh,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Like 3 of them all right there within a minute.
That is
It was insane.
unbelievable.
That's got to be a chilling feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Two things real quick. Eric Jackson in the chat, we want to acknowledge. And then also, who else did we just see in there? Just so we can kind of keep up. Mr. 305 Mondo and Jenny from 305 Paranormal. We got Scott Reddick, ERT, Roger, of course, Anthony Seminelli. The other thing is that you guys at some point should have Tony send you the last night before he lost the keys through a real estate disaster of the Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital in Ajo, Arizona. He got shadow figures walking in the hallway on video, which I've been in this field for 12, 13 years.
I've never seen anything
like it. It's I'm sure other people may have something,
but we haven't.
It's if you'll love it. Have them send it to you. It's amazing.
Cool.
It was a great capture.
Yeah, we're always hoping for that.
I have a question for you. The one that you guys sent, Scream, is that from Tala too?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's actually Fort DuPont.
Okay.
There's it's called the Painter Building, and they were doing construction. A lot of asbestos. I thought they're getting all the stuff out of there. And apparently the workers were freaked out working there. They would find, I guess they had a little, they called the place, what, the Village of the Children.
Yeah, it was at one point that was used for barracks during the war, but then it became a hospital, and then it came, they called it the Village of the Children or Children of the Village. It was kind of a place where
that's
people who were mentally challenged, kind of like a Penhurst.
Okay.
Could be brought there and we'll take care of your kid. Don't worry about it. They're in good hands. But then the parents never really got to see them. So they were in the redevelopment corporation was there. They were trying to renovate the building. And when they moved when that hospital closed, I think in the 80s, the kids' shoes were just left in a giant pile in that building.
They would find them all over the place.
So and it was boarded up. And so it wasn't until a few years ago that the redevelopment corporation had contractors go in to start, doing demo and start redoing this building. And the contractors were finding, they leave at night, come back, the shoes would be in a different spot.
They'd be lined up in front of
or
the
they would
doors.
be lined up perfectly in front of a door.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Or they would hear or see a little girl. It got to the point where the contractors were saying, we're not coming back. So they, of course, knew of us, our team. So they're like, can you guys please come and check out this building?
It's a pretty big building, and there's
Yeah.
4 floors, 3 floors and a basement. And we had people scattered all over the entire building. And that's where that clip came from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to it. Here we go.
Wow.
It's good.
It sounds like the children, more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like children.
Everybody, with the long version of that clip is everybody on the walkie-talkies going, what was that? What was that?
Mhm.
What was it? And then you'd hear everybody, I heard that. I got that.
Mhm.
Kyle's running out of the basement going, I'm not staying here by myself. I got
Yeah. So when that happened, I was by myself in the corner of the basement, and I heard exactly what you guys just heard, and I just went, "Fuck this!" I'm gonna go find my group, man. And, I got back and I was like, "You guys heard that, right?" And they're like, "Oh my god, yeah." So yeah, it was
I was actually up on the main floor, the rooms, you know how like the old timey hospital rooms where they'd be like one huge room and you'd have like a spot for a bed and then a heater and then a spot for a bed and then a heater. It was kind of like that. And so myself and a couple other investigators were sitting in there. I had my back to the hallway. I was purposely standing in the door because I thought I kept hearing footsteps coming up and down the hallway. Farther down the hallway, kind of at the opposite end, there was 2 people on the DVR. There was the group down in the basement, and then there was a group on the 2nd floor. I had, which you didn't catch on this little clip, I had literally just asked the question, what was it like living at Village of the Children? And within a few seconds, we all heard that scream. And that my first reaction was, oh my God, did someone just like fall down the stairs? Because it was so freaking loud.
It literally echoes through the whole building.
Yeah.
You can hear that echo. It's
Yeah.
and
That is
one of the interesting rooms in that place is, and I don't know this for sure if it's accurately what it was used for, but it looks like there was a room where they would bring the patients into, and up on the wall, there's a bunch of little people.
Like an observation room.
Yeah, and you can go on the other side, and you can go up on the little deck, and you can look through, and you can see exactly what the doctors, I assume.
So I was in the observation room when that screen went off.
And I'll tell you what, when you're looking through those things and it's a dark room on the other side, it's a creepy feeling. Look through that. Just knowing, I mean, what could have happened there?
Right,
right.
And you don't see. I haven't been to many places where you see anything like that. So it was definitely creepy.
Wow.
Yeah, let's name something Village of the Children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Just the name, you're going, dude, do I want to do this?
Yeah.
All right, so the next clip we have is Move Again.
That was Trans-Allegheny. And we were sitting listening to what sounded like file cabinets or some kind of heavy furniture, like just being pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what this is. And then I think they asked if you could do it again, and I think it does.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually heard that. Sounds like chair sliding and stuff.
Oh, yeah, this was heavy. It was really...
So here we go. Yeah, we've actually heard the same thing.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
No idea what it was because we couldn't find anything.
We couldn't find anything.
No, we did the same thing. We looked around for real heavy furniture that looked like it had been moved. There's no doors that big that would make that move.
We heard similar stuff at Phelps Dodge, Chris, where we'd leave a recorder running, we'd leave. There was no one else in the building yet. It would sound like things being dragged back and forth up and down the halls and
gurneys going down the hallway.
Right. Yeah. So that was awesome though. That was a great capture. Wow. I will be right back. So just excuse me for a moment.
Okay.
So the next one we have is Penhurst. This is an interesting name, so you're gonna have to explain it. Penhurst 3 Stink, same as Chris.
I like it already.
I wasn't there with you guys, so it wasn't me.
Actually, I don't know why it's called 3 Stink. I don't know but one of the investigators was saying something and it repeats it back.
Mm-hmm.
And you can clearly
it was
hear
down in the basement.
It was down in the basement
at
at Penhurst.
Yeah.
Best file name ever. Hilarious.
All right, here we go.
That's what I call our group.
This is a soundproof room. Floor feels.
It does say stink.
It does.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep, sure does.
And yeah, that is a soundproof room, and it's a really weird feeling when you can't hear anything around you. It's pretty cool.
It's like that. It's like the audio room in the Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, they have a little audio room sitting in the lab. You know, like where they do the hearing tests and stuff.
Yep, it's just like that.
Yeah, but it's big enough for like 4 people, and you go in there and close the door, and the lab is one of the most active sections of the hospital. When you close that door in that lab and you're in that dead silent room, you're like, you feel like somebody's in there with you.
Sure. Yeah.
You can like feel them.
So I want to listen to that again because it almost sounds like she says thanks, something repeats her, and then you hear stinks. It's like there's 2 voices there. Let's listen to that again.
This is a soundproof room. Chlorophyll stinks.
Yeah, I think she says it stinks.
I think, yeah, I think
Yeah, I
she.
think that's what it says. It
it takes
stinks.
it back.
And then it says stinks. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's what I hear.
They believe that the that part of the basement, well, in the basement where up at Penhurst is a male entity, pretty strong personality. They say he likes to be referred to as the king.
Mhm.
So he lets you know when you're down there that he's there.
Interesting.
Triple the smell, triple
So,
the
That's Roger. Roger's hilarious.
All right. So the next one, are you trying to scare us? This is a RIN pod reaction, right? If I remember right.
I don't remember
No,
that
honestly,
one.
I'm not sure.
So let's go ahead and play it, and then we can talk.
Sure.
Are you trying to scare us? So
That-
that was at Penhurst,
Yeah.
up on the third floor of the Mayflower building.
Mhm.
And
that was this year.
yes,
Yeah, that was Kyle's voice, right?
no, that was Matt. That's actually Gina's son.
Yeah, my son Matt.
I was in the room with him when it happened. So we had music boxes and motion detectors up and down the hallway. And when he asked that question, they all went off, and it sounded like it was coming towards us the way they were going off. So, and the Mayflower building, oh my God, it's so cool how you can hear footsteps up there all the time. It's insane. It's different when you hear it with your own ears, and it's just clearly you're like, someone's walking towards me, and you look, and there's just no one there.
I had somebody in hard sole shoes literally walk right up to me about a foot away, and I turned on the flashlight. There's nobody there.
But yeah, all the motion detectors all started going off like in sequence, kind of like they were coming down towards us.
Penhurst is pretty cool too. We have been there, and I know we're doing.
We went twice, I think, right?
Oh
No,
yeah,
one time. We're doing Staticom at the Paracon
Not in May.
yeah.
in May.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be our second time going there. But yeah, the Mayflower. He's right. That is a really, really interesting place. It is. It is very creepy.
Up on the third floor, that we get evidence every time we go up on the third floor. So definitely go up there and try it out there.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was fascinating because it was a couple of things going off, right? Because I heard the REM pod.
He said it in
Music box.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it. Yeah.
There were 3 or 4 of them, and for all of them to go off, and mind you, these were all spaced like 20, 30 feet apart.
Oh,
So
wow.
for them all to be going off like that, it was
In
nuts.
sequence, though, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
The chime for a music box, right?
Right.
Music box.
Yeah, the chimes were one of our music boxes.
Their music box, yeah.
The other thing that sounded like it was a message from the emergency podcasting system was the
Exactly.
They actually have wind chimes hanging outside the asylum. That's what you heard. that's actually the sound that the music.
Yes.
Yes.
we had set.
Yes, Penhurst is
Candyland,
on the Candyland isolation area.
That's wild. There you go.
Doors open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
That's
telling you, third floor, awesome place to investigate.
And the Dunham building is really good too. The basement of
The
the
the best one is when we would close down the awful hospital. The last room was the reception area of the old hospital, and that was the door that we left. And you'd have to go all the way across it to turn off the last light. So everybody would get out, and who's gonna lock the door? Who's gonna turn off the light? And you would start walking. You'd get about 3 feet from the door, and I'm getting chills now. And you could hear somebody run up right behind you.
Yeah.
You could feel them. You could hear their footsteps come up right behind you, and they always did it 3 feet from the door.
From the door, right? Or as you're walking about in the middle of the room, you'd hear something upstairs run down the hall or something bang, and you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm leaving."
Oh, man. Yeah. Running's even worse. Walking dead. You hear something running towards you. Shit.
There was one night, Tony, Cherie, and Audra were waiting right outside the door, and I went, screw it, I'll do it. I went in and turned off the light, walked towards the door, got about 3 feet, and those footsteps came up behind me. Felt like they were right behind me, and I turned around and went, would you knock it the fuck off? Remember that?
Yeah.
Tony was out there pissing himself. It was funny.
It's one thing though to hear footsteps and feel something come up behind you, but that hospital was closed in 1986. We were in there with a film producer shooting a video to advertise that we were opening it up for paranormal investigations, and we're standing in the middle of the hallway, and this baby starts crying, and you can hear it loud as can be. In fact, we did catch the audio of it.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
But he just froze, and he's like, "What the hell is that?" And she's like, "Sounds like a baby." He's like, "There's no babies in here," and we're like, "There shouldn't be."
There was at one time.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So the next one is Bellevue Naughty Things No.
Uh-huh.
This is a good clip.
You want to play the clip first?
It's up to you guys.
Well, so Bellevue Mansion is part of Delaware State Park System. It was once a DuPont home. And so we were called in to investigate there because the staff was actually feeling pretty uncomfortable up in the servants' quarters. So we went in there to investigate. And so we put like 3 or 4 female investigators down in this basement area of the mansion that Mr. DuPont kind of referred it, or we call it his man cave, because that's where he used to go sit downstairs after dinner with a cigar and brandy and hang out with his gentleman friends. So it was only female investigators down there. The guys, we had them, they were out watching the DVR on a complete opposite side of the mansion. So they asked a question and you'll hear the response.
We got all the cool audio names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
Do you do naughty things down here?
No.
It's
a
quick.
no, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Quick, but it's clear.
Oh, yeah.
And immediate.
And
Yeah.
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 It's
Let
immediate.
me play that again because that's quick. It's only a 3-second clip. Here we go.
Do you do naughty things down here?
Bingo.
No.
The fluction and the tone in that was like, no, I don't want my wife to know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's
I
that.
think
It
he
sounds
wasn't-
like a male's voice too,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
a female voice, and that's all that was down there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was absolutely immediate. I mean, play
Yeah.
that one more time, Chris.
All right, here we go.
Do you do naughty things down here?
Yeah, instant. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that,
they never heard it.
that
Yeah,
hallway,
we didn't. The girls didn't hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
And it was picked up on 3 different recorders.
Yeah.
yeah, and that hallway, there's a couple ways that you can get into it, but they're all like secret little passageway rooms to get down there. One of them, there's a little doorway in the ballroom, and you can open it up, and it's a winding staircase to go down. There's it's like a china cabinet in the dining room, and if you open the doors and you pull the shelf out, there was a ladder that went down.
You can climbing through there.
So
Mhm.
it's definitely a type of place that, you know, if he's going to do something, he doesn't want anyone to know about it.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
So let me make sure I understand this. Andy, you said that particular no was picked up on 3 different recorders?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so sorry to make you do this, Chris, but just play it one more time for me.
Wow, that was well played.
That was good.
Well played, Christoph. That is
Immediate too.
Yeah, immediate.
I expected the
It
immediate.
was a male's voice.
And they didn't hear it at the time too. So
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Chris.
Do you do naughty things down here?
Okay, so that's really interesting. The fact that it did show up on 3 recorders.
Right.
What I was trying to determine was, I mean, for when I hear the echo requires an actual sound wave. There's no echo to that note. So
That's right.
It's a flat note. Yeah, it's like no.
That's right.
It's embedded. Yeah.
Great observation. There is no echo. That is completely dry.
Right. And probably, well, they said they didn't even hear it, which explains it then as clearly being an EVP. But there's no echo, so there's no bounce. But it did show up on 3 recorders, so that's awesome.
Yeah, which is really cool because normally when you get an embedded EVP, it's usually just on one out of the 3. And this one actually got picked up on all 3 and it wasn't audible. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the footsteps at Trans-Allegheny that we all heard, but no recorders picked it up.
Right.
That was weird.
I know it's weird how that happens. I know that's weird.
That is wild. Yeah, Tony's right though. There was no echo to that sound at all.
No.
Definitely.
Which would have been my next question if they actually heard it. Was could they tell a direction? And I guarantee you, even if anybody did hear that, that one had no direction.
No direction to it. No.
And because of this clip, whenever we're down there, we like to ask questions about like doing things in privacy. Like, are you doing something down here you shouldn't, or are you being naughty? And it's the K2s will go off a lot, something you can't see, but we usually get a lot of activity when we ask questions down there.
You want a cigar?
Yeah.
We tend to get REM pod hits and stuff when you ask them if they want a cigar.
We've left him a cigar.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. So this next one, no, he's at the top.
This is at Hurst. This is at the 3rd floor. That was my son asking the question. You hear my son ask the question, then you hear a response to that.
Okay. Here we go.
He's on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear that.
I heard that.
Don't know what it's saying though.
It sounds like he said he's at the top.
He's at the top.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Play it one more time.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he's at the top or he's on top.
The only reason the first time I heard it, I thought I heard your son say, "Do you want to talk?" And I thought I heard him say, "No, I don't want to talk," or something to that effect.
That's why, because I thought I heard, "No, he's on top." That's what I thought I heard.
Or the other one, and I think Roger just spelled it out, is no one's at the top. That's possible as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play it again.
Play it again.
Roger gets the prize. Roger gets the prize. Tell him what he's won, Chris.
Roger, you have won a chance to watch us again next week.
Clearly, regardless of what every word was, it was a response to the question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely a response.
And it wasn't audible at the time, right?
Yeah, with timing and relevance, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good old Hurst.
Wow. Yeah, we'd like to go.
I really like this next one. This one's pretty cool. Someone counting.
Oh yeah.
This is Hurst.
Hurst as well. Wow. Okay.
We gotta freaking go to Penn.
I'm here.
We do.
Penhurst
Yeah,
is good.
Penhurst is close. It's not that far.
Yeah.
Really?
Spring City, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah, for us, it's like almost 4 hours.
7 hours.
No, it wouldn't take you that long.
No.
I think it's less than that.
In New Jersey, from where we
How long
are,
does
is
it
it less
take you
than
to get
that?
to
No.
Philly? 2 hours. 2 hours to Philly.
I would, yeah.
It's half an hour
I'd
outside of
say it
Philly.
would take you about 2 hours.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah,
It's not
maybe.
much.
3 hours. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
then it would take us about 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to say what it would take us.
In the air.
39.
39.
29. 29.
Well, 29.
Yeah, we have to get Team Rathman out here so we can drag them to all these places.
We're working on it.
Every week we show you different investigators, just like these fine folks who have great locations and amazing evidence on the East Coast. What else do we need to do, Tony Rathman?
Oh, trust me, there's lots of things pulling us that direction. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Eventually.
So here's someone counting. Here we go.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
It sounds
It's
like a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, like a female.
Yeah. You think it's a child? It almost sounds
Maybe
like
a child. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I can't
Let's play that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Here.
Yeah, that's either a child spirit or someone who needs to be removed from the team. Stat.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was waiting for
That was-
me. Freddy's coming for you.
That's my next question. That hit at the end is
What is
that
that?
part of the
We
EVP?
don't know. We think
It's no. We think
was
it's
not
two
on the-
separate.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
nobody on the team. I know that.
Yeah.
Like if
Maybe-
they're playing, one is counting and then the other one.
They're playing hide and
They're
seek.
It's almost
playing
like
hide and
hide and
seek.
seek. Yeah.
Yeah, hide and seek.
that's what I thought.
Mhm. Yeah.
Except the one that went here doesn't know how to play.
Yeah. she's-
They told the wrong rules. One of the
Yeah.
things.
Yep. All right. So the last piece we have is grid movement. This one's really cool.
So
We should explain. So it's this house that we investigated multiple times locally. The house is an old farmhouse, what, 1800s?
oh yeah.
Underground Railroad was a part of it. The
Yeah.
engineers are awesome. They have we're antique collectors. The house is full. But they always have reported of seeing a child down in the basement. So this clip you're going to see, it's Andy and Debbie from our team. And Debbie is actually a pediatric physical therapist. And so she is actually talking to this.
We think it's a child.
They think it's a child, and that's why she is talking the way she is.
We investigated. First time we investigated, we had an SLS camera, and we pointed into this is in what's called a spring room,
In her
and
business.
there's really nothing in there. There's a bench or something, and they've seen people in there. I was setting up a camera down there, and I turned around, and it looked to me like a face that was there, and then went and hid behind the door. So I set the camera up, pointing to there, and when we had the SLS camera, we caught what looked like a tall figure and a little figure like huddled up, like they were trying to hide in the corner. And we're going, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid. And they disappeared. And then Adam, who was holding the camera at the time, you could see on one of the cameras, like it gets almost pulled out of his hand, like they were trying to pull it out of his hand. He flipped out.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time we went there, we set up the camera again, pointing to there. And Debbie and I were down there and had the laser grid. And we're just talking, asking questions or stuff, and sitting there. And I happen to look down, and I see these little, what look like footsteps going through the grid. And immediately she goes, "Are you seeing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." We watched this for 10 minutes.
Wow.
We'd ask it to go up. We'd ask it to come back. It would go behind the door. It kept walking back and forth. 10 minutes is going on. All of a sudden I go, what if the camera's not catching this? And this is a complete waste of time. So I pulled out my phone, and it went on for another 5 minutes. So what you're seeing is from my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Pay really close attention to the floor, guys. Here we go.
You can do it. Make them disappear. Just step right on those lights. There you go. Got it? I see you. Wow, look at you. There you go. Clear to the back again. Yep, there, the lights are gone. See? Easy. You're getting really good at this now. Oh, there's a big one that went out. Oh, yeah. Look. Oh, back and forth. Wow, you are tricky. Are you coming back this way? Yep. Come on. There you go. There you go. 1 step. 2 step. Come on. Oh, I know it's hard. Where are you? There you are. You're getting close. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there, I see it disappear. Oh, you're getting smaller. Hi. Up. Okay, you're back up. You're back up here. Do you think you could try to get to that ball? Maybe if I put it closer, would you be able to? Then I'll step back.
Let me look real quick.
I just want to make sure that there's no mice.
There's literally nothing there.
There's no mouse. Andy, there was not.
There's nothing there. Oh, there they go. Look, look, look.
Go. Oh, you saw the light, huh? There you go. You're pretty good at this now. What in the world?
I have no idea.
Wow. You're really good. It's pretty fun, isn't it? I knew you would love it. Just go back and forth. Where are you standing? Step on the light so we can see where you are.
Oh, there, in the back. Oh.
Oh, yep. There you go. Couple more. Yeah, that's pretty fun. It's like fireflies, huh? Little lightning bugs. And you just cover them up with your toes.
We like walking through those too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It sure is. And it's silly hiding the lights. Can you do it? Come on back up here with me. Come on. Let's count your steps. When I count, you step on a light. Are you ready? Here we go. 1. Where are you? Can you step on the light? Where is it? Make the light go away. Like a star. There you go. Come on. You can do it. Just step right on one of those lights.
Stacy, the woman that lives here, says she saw you the other day.
Oh, cool.
Saw a little boy peeking out of here.
What?
Is that you?
I would love to
Because if it
see
is,
you.
you really need to hit that ball.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Boys like that kind of stuff.
I would love it.
Can you do it? Let's count. 1, 2, 3.
You know, as soon as I turn this off, he'll hit the ball.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We got to trade, too. We got to go upstairs. All right.
Yeah, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Important distinction that came out in the comments was that it first appears, because you don't have depth perception with it being dark, that's a wall. You go, all right, well, maybe something could be crawling on the wall, and that's
it was the floor.
It's the floor.
The best thing that you did was somebody put on a regular light.
That was the best thing you
Because
did.
when you did that, we wait a minute.
There's no
There's
bug.
no coming in and out. It would still be there. It's not the wall. It's a floor.
Yeah.
Which is when we first started seeing it, my first thought was it was a mouse or something. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
nothing. And I had the flashlight on, and there was nothing there. We kept watching it go back and forth, and I turned the light on again. There's nothing there, and it kept going. And I'm like, if I don't put my phone on and this doesn't get it, we're screwed. That's why I turned the flashlight out again, so you could see there's nothing here.
There was nothing there, yeah.
I knew when I watched that not only did I think that was a brilliant move, but I knew that somewhere Chris Allgood was going, because
The best part is, I saw that because I set everything up, and I'm like, "What the hell is that? That looks like a mouse or a rat or something." And then you hit the light. So when she was just watching it, she goes, "You sure that's not like a rat or something?" And I went like this. I went, "Wait for it."
Just wait. As soon as I turned the light off, it almost like ran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's rare anyone in the group says, "Andy, you did a good thing."
That's the first time you ever said that.
Andy, you did a good thing, dude.
that was really that was completely brilliant thinking. That was really that was so in the moment. and not getting lost in even the wonder of the fact that you were seeing something. Because that is, to me, that's like a linchpin in holding this thing together.
Right.
Because it's easy to go maybe a wall, maybe something crawling on the wall, and then you go, right, not a wall, floor.
On the website we have, I took a picture of that room and I drew it out so you could see, like, this is the lead, like that big black bar going across is the shadow from the step down. So I drew all that out there so you can see what we were actually looking at. Because when you just like that, you show it to nobody knows what they're looking at. It's just a green laser grid. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it was the floor, and it never happened again the entire night.
Yeah, and I don't know what your guys' experience with laser grids are, but I mean, for something to walk across the grid, that's rare. I mean, you can see flies flying, and you can usually figure out what it is, but for something to move across it like that, it's just I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I would agree. That's
would you guys, since we've got a few minutes left, would you care to see the shadow figure from the Phelps?
Oh yeah,
yes, we would.
And while he shows that clip, I'll pull up a picture from Tala of that shadow figure.
Cool. Okay.
That's fantastic and excellent. The evidence you guys brought tonight.
It was really good.
Like, everything was top shelf stuff, and your explanations of what happened and recall of the moment is spot on. That's really cool.
And you know, I talk about situational awareness, but there's also situational awareness with review too, because you guys took a clip that could have been people going, "Oh, that's a mouse, that's a mouse, that's a mouse," and you took that factor out of it by turning on that light. That is fantastic.
Yep, that's what I love too.
Yeah, because I knew no one would. But my thought was, when we take this upstairs and show them, they're going to go, well, it's a mouse or something. So I had to. I'm like, we know there's nothing there, so I have to do the flashlight on camera.
That was perfect. That was a brilliant move.
Yep.
To vetting the authenticity of it ahead of time. Really was.
Yeah,
that could have been the one thing.
When we're investigating and something's going on, I mean, we will go to great lengths to debunk the crap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we can't.
Couldn't do that one.
Yeah, and when you get there and you just can't find a reason for what you're seeing happening, that's when you got good evidence.
Yeah, I mean that's categorical investigating, right? You're not there to prove, disprove, not debunk. You're there to investigate, and that's doing it right, because that was the one thing that could have been questionable about what you caught, and you took it out of the equation that day. Poof,
took it out. It's great.
Yeah. Now let me say, before it really was great work. Before this clip gets played, maybe Tony and or Chris, we've never been to this place. We were supposed to go meet the Rathmans, and then the real estate deal went down. That they lost the keys 2 weeks before we booked the flight, so we never actually got to go. So we've never been there. But maybe you guys can set this up, because when you realize and the fact that down, like, it makes this even crazier.
What are we?
Well, this is about 5 minutes to 6 in the morning. That's why the sun is up. The sun is shining through
that door
emergency surgery room window. That window is roughly Chris, 20 feet in the air?
It's on the 3rd floor.
Cool.
With nothing on the exterior. It's a glass block window that you can't see through, but it allows light in. But it starts about 3 foot off the floor and goes to about 2 foot above by the ceiling. So the sill of the window is probably about 28 to 30 feet off the ground.
Okay.
With no ledge or anything behind it. It's just a sheer drop.
Right. So, the questions that came up was, where's the light coming from? Is there anyone in that room? No. There's 3 people in the room, my wife and I and our son. We are at a completely different floor in the hospital. We're not even on this floor. The cameras were set up all night. And this was what was caught at like 5:55 in the morning. So here is that clip. Yeah, it is.
No spooky music?
I don't know where the music went. There was music. Yeah, I did share audio. But the fact that we're not muted
means
well,
the
'cause
audio.
it's-
Yeah.
So what you're looking
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So
just
to the
wait.
right, to the right is that surgery room, and to the left is an X-ray room that's completely blacked out. There's no light at all on that side.
Okay.
Oh, what was that?
Oh wait.
Yeah, wait.
Oh wow. Oh what? Get out of here.
You're saying the same thing.
Wait.
Yeah, wait. It walks away from the wall.
It walks to
It's not done yet because the audio is messed up. That's why there's echoes.
Oh my god.
Was that two of them?
Wow.
It's two of them.
That was crazy.
That is
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. And that was like one of the last nights we spent in there. And we'd see them all the time. Like we got pictures of them and stuff, but that was the only time they ever showed up on a DVR camera.
That feeling when you first see that,
I freaked out.
You had to be like, oh my God.
I freaked out. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I probably watched it 100 times the night I saw it. And
did you not also have a thermal camera shooting that same hallway?
I did, not only in the same hallway, but literally right next to the DVR camera. And the FLIR was recording to the DVR as well. The FLIR, nothing showed. Nothing.
That's weird.
So this is right outside of Dean's room. This is that mist that formed into a figure in front of me.
Ooh.
See the end of the hallway? See the exit sign?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right there.
Holy cow.
I was standing 3 feet from this when that photo was taken.
That's
So this was about 5'6".
Yeah.
This is dead center of the hallway.
Yep.
And what's the white light up in the top by the exit sign?
Should I look for the
little thing?
That's I think that's a light outside those windows at the end. You know how they have the lights going out to the back of the building?
Yep.
So that's actually one of those windows on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And it's probably that spotlight that shines into the back property.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you can see
Wow.
the exit sign at the center of the hallway and then the one at the end of the hallway.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
So that exit sign you see here
Yeah.
is right above the stairwell that they found the nurse in.
Oh, okay.
The very back stairwell that goes
Yeah.
down all the way to the
Mhm.
first floor. Yeah.
Yep.
But I saw that with my own eyes, and they caught it on the full spectrum.
That's
You
really,
saw that. That's
Oh yeah. And then the first shadow figure I saw was down here at this end, walking through the red light. And then the third one that I saw was to my right in that room next to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it all happened within a minute. Yeah.
So when you see something like that, do you get scared or like, how do you feel like when that happens?
Tony or Audrey, you want to answer that question?
Well, we didn't actually see the shadow figure with our own eyes because we were still asleep. We didn't go to bed till 3:30 in the morning, and at 5 minutes to 6, we were still asleep. And we had a camera on us as well. And if you match the time frames, you can tell this is occurring, and we haven't moved. We are still completely asleep.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that until after, although we were there a couple days later for an investigation that was going on. And my wife was sitting out in the dark hallway by herself because we were all in the room right across. And she saw it with her own eyes, screamed her head off right in the middle of this investigation. But, you know, it's always to see something unexpected is going to shock you, is going to make you jump because you don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fear of what it is? No, it's the surprise factor. It's the, oh my God, you know, that just came out of nowhere. After that is when you go, what the hell was that?
Yes.
What did it,
That's when all the weird feelings.
Yeah. Everybody processes it differently. And when something like that happens to me, I feel really cold going down my arms for 1 second and it's gone. And then I'm like, awesome. Like it's really quick. It just grips me. And it's like a bit of fear, but then it's gone. And it's like, now I got to try to debunk it and figure out what's going on. But it's just cool seeing how everybody processes it differently.
Yeah, Chris, since we're on shadow figures and he's going to the Queen Mary, I can do a share real fast. Just they don't need to share sound, but let him see the one that I got in the
the Queen Mary
in the engine room. I should be able to just share a tab, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because I don't. It says it lets me share audio too, but I don't have any audio for it though.
Yeah, go ahead and share it, and then I can pull it in.
I just did.
Can you zoom in on it, Ron?
I can do.
You can see
It's
it
right there. The other one.
Wow.
It was anyway.
This is the zoomed in enhancement. See the hand and the arm?
Yeah.
That's a flat door. There's no handle on that side. And these two floor lights in the back are perimeter lights. And those white spots underneath it are the light shining through it. It's partly opaque.
Yeah.
And it's casting a little bit of forward shadow. But there were 40 people, give or take, on the tour that night. Everybody was facing that way except the guide. And nobody saw that. And I took the picture of the door, and I took one of the corner, one of the other corner. And nobody saw anything.
It almost looks like a dress.
Yeah, it looks like a reaper, like a robe.
It looks like the Grim Reaper, right?
Oh yeah.
Or something. But yeah, I mean, why would that shape be on that door?
Right. And then the arm is like out of the door.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in now.
See if you can zoom in because
It doesn't let me zoom in on here.
But there was another picture that you had of it.
That was closer?
Yeah, it was right next to this one. That's why I didn't understand why.
Well, this is the. This
no,
is all
the other way.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It was the other way.
That's the ship. There she is.
Kyle,
Go find that room, Kyle.
can we come with you, Kyle?
Yeah. By the way,
Close one? That was it. That was it then. Yeah.
So my wife's watching this, and she texted me and said, "You will be there this weekend, dumbass."
There's not another one.
No, let's just go back to the album.
Okay.
I think there's the other one here. This is the apparition one. I had a picture of the bar. I never had a picture of the door. This is observation bar, the sign. So she and I took this picture, and we went back a year later, and we tried to see if we could debunk or explain it. Nobody was in the bar. One waitress, she walked off to frame right, and that was it. There was no patrons in there. You can see it's empty.
Yeah.
And then I zoomed in on this.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it right away.
Oh,
look at that.
Part of a lady's head, but this is like this is not a table or we couldn't figure out what this is. There was nothing outside the window.
Your arm, she's going like this.
That's what we thought maybe, but
And
see,
then his hat is like weird shaped.
this
and
is
then it
like the
goes-
back of the kid's head. You see the ear.
Right, that's a kid.
Yeah.
No, I think that's part of her, whatever she's got on.
I think that's a collar.
His hair. Yeah.
This does what you zoom in and see how whatever this is on this collar piece is simultaneously sharing the same space as part of the top of the kid's head.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just explained it. I think that's her collar literally running into the tip of his hat.
I don't even know if it's a hat.
Yeah, I thought it was his hair.
And it just happens to go in the same spot.
No, what I think
you might be right.
is
Glasses.
I don't think he's as manifested as she is, and you're seeing through him to her collar.
Hey, Ron, is she
Would
wearing
be.
glasses?
Yes, it looks like
It
she's
looks
wearing
like-
glasses, and it looks like his shoulder line would be here.
and so
Yeah.
right there,
Right.
there's no body. Like you see.
But right, the rest of her is not formed. There's nothing
Over
else
there,
here
yeah.
or here.
Yeah.
It's kind of missing
Yeah.
something.
Like, I don't know.
It even looks like there's a pattern on his shirt too.
It's crazy.
There was nothing there, and we went back the next year and we went back and forth from the door, like trying to size up the frame, and then going back and kept switching spots because we got the table right by this
Checking
window.
tables.
Checking the tables, and after like 15 minutes, the waitress goes, "You
Are
gonna order anything?
You can order anything.
No,
I mean,
Hang
it
on,
looks
hang
like you can see his ear even.
Oh, yeah.
hang on,
Yeah, you can definitely
right
see
here.
it here.
Yep.
hang on. All you're seeing is him from the neck up. That round thing that you think is his shoulders
Right.
It's his chair.
is the chair.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Ah,
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I said his shoulder line would be around here, but I think he's right. This is not a shoulder, this is a chair.
Yeah, because I remember those
It looks like
designs
a
on the
chair,
chair.
Wow,
That's incredible.
that is incredible.
This was I didn't see it for 9 or 11 months, almost a year. I
So
looked
go
at
back to the original picture because I didn't notice it.
I don't think it's a hat at all. I think that's his hair.
I think it's his hair.
Yeah.
Too.
But
Yeah,
the
you
point is
wouldn't
that
notice that just looking at that picture. You
Yeah.
got to really go in and.
purposely made sure no one was in frame. That was he made sure
I poked my
nobody was
head
there.
in. I poked my head in. The bar was empty. I made sure there was no patrons, and the waitress was in there. She walked over to the right, and that was it. I went, I'm taking the picture of the sign. That's all I wanted was this.
Yeah.
So what are those? Are they windows? What are those?
Yeah, those are windows to the outside.
Yeah, windows for them. Yeah.
And there was nothing out there that could have made this look like this. We looked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what could that even possibly be other than a figure of a
It's
person?
clearly a woman with glasses and a kid. There's no.
Yeah.
But I
So-
mean,
pretend it's not.
yeah, like
Let me add a little intrigue to that. The bottom of those windows, that front deck isn't that high. That front deck is actually lower.
Oh,
Yes.
He would have to have been hovering.
You couldn't see him there.
Well, if she's outside the window, I think she might be inside. the
Inside,
window.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She looks like she's inside, not outside.
Yeah, because if she was outside and standing on the
wouldn't
deck,
see her.
you would
Right.
maybe
You'd
see the
never
top
see
of
her.
her head. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, she'd be out of the frame. She's in
Yeah.
the bottom.
Go take that picture, Kyle. Recreate that and see what you get.
Yeah.
for
Seriously.
Hang on, I've got one more from you for Tala since we're doing a show and tell. We got to go into the lobotomy section,
Oh my
Mhm, Yep,
and
that's down in the basement, right?
no, it's on the first floor. You know where the investigation room is, where they gather everybody,
Yeah.
Mhm,
where all the
yeah.
tables are. The door that goes to the north
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
goes into the old lobotomy section, and we put a recorder down there, and there was nobody down there at this time. Oh wait, I gotta exit out. I didn't share the sound.
That's where you saw the picture.
I gotta warn you, it's heartbreaking. This one's heartbreaking.
Now I do believe that this is residual, but here you go. Listen to this.
I don't think you shared the sound, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did, but let me do it this way.
You got to do a whole screen probably, otherwise it doesn't seem to work.
No, I'm going to.
Yeah, that's not hard to hear when you hear
No,
it.
it's loud.
Where the fuck did it go? Ah, I'm trying to add it to StreamYard. Let me do this.
I was like,
I was just saw Jenny Colucci and Scott Reddick's comments about the apparition picture. Yeah, in 12, 13 years, I've been in the field a decent amount of years, not terribly long, and I got 2 good pictures.
no, it's rare. It's hard.
It's hard.
Like,
It's a yeah.
it's luck.
a rare
It's
thing when you
literally
catch
what
it.
it is.
Yeah, 2 good pictures.
All right, here we go. Oh, come on, StreamYard. Here we go.
That I heard.
Could you hear it? It's a little low.
Sounds like that scream we picked up at Fort DuPont. Like
Yes.
sounds like a little girl screaming.
You hear the mallet, and then you hear, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does with the audio.
That section was completely empty at that time of night when that was caught.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
God.
It still wasn't very loud.
The place.
It wasn't, because you've played it before, and it's loud. When you really hear it, you can hear that emotion.
Oh, yeah.
You feel it. You feel that pain. It's crazy. I know. Too bad that you can't play it loud enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bonnie said it too. Heartbreaking. It is.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've come to the part of the show where we call shameless plugs. Tell everybody where they can see you guys, where you can be found. What do you do? Can they reach out to you for investigations?
Yep. So our website is diamondstateghostinvestigators.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We are the contracted paranormal team for Delaware State Parks. So we host paranormal adventure tours the month of October at Fort Delaware. We just wrapped up our 15th season doing tours. We do 2 tours a night, 3 hours each. It's 70 people per tour, so we push through 140 people a night. But we started this.
Push them through.
We literally push them through by the end of the month. But we started these tours in 2009 as a fundraising event for Fort Delaware. So the money that you buy, your ticket money goes back towards the restoration of the fort. And we have raised a little over 1.8 million.
Oh, wow. No. That's fantastic.
Yep.
And it still looks old. They haven't updated anything.
So that's our biggest event. The tickets for that go on sale July 1st. The tours last year sold out super, super quick. But we always sell out every single year. It is a public investigation. So people understand, we're very upfront. We tell them right off the bat, hey, we can't promise anything paranormal is going to happen tonight. But if you don't have a paranormal experience, at least take pride that you got to explore a really cool fort in the dark.
Yep.
Appreciate the history. So that's our biggest event. We got coming up. We're going to be heading out to Samuel Miller Mansion early March to join up with my Haunted Manor USA. Trey on our team has joined up with Daryl Marston and his brother Jeff, or Trey's brother Jeff, are joined up with Daryl, and now are part of that show. So we're super excited for those guys, and we're going to be going out there early March to investigate Samuel Miller Mansion. We have a public event coming up at Bellevue Manor, which is where we got the no to the naughty questions, the naughty things question. So that will be March 7th. We got some other just kind of local private cases coming up. And let's see what else. We got hoping to do another paranormal event in June. It's probably we're looking at a little
stages of that one.
Yeah, we're kind of in the planning stages of that one. Hopefully that will happen in June and hopefully in Gettysburg. So we're just, we're around, we're always open. People can always contact us. They can email us if they want. It's dsgihauntline@gmail.com. It's all on our website. But I always tell people, look, we're not going to bullshit you. We're not going to tell you something's paranormal and it's not. We're very upfront. We're a great team. We enjoy each other's company. There's like 16 of us, I think, on the team.
Wow.
And as you guys said, you guys are family. Well, these guys are my family. So,
you make her feed us.
Yeah, I do. So we really just enjoy helping out anybody that needs the help, and especially helping out historical locations.
That's awesome.
Over $1 million in how many years?
We just wrapped up our 15th season.
$1.8 million.
Over 1.8.
That's an amazing message for the locations out there that don't want to be associated with the paranormal because of the stigma attached.
Yeah.
You're not going to make that much money selling cupcakes on the front lawn at a bake sale.
Nope.
It's not happening.
Yeah. We're lucky and fortunate enough that the park staff they've been working with us. A lot of the historical interpreters, are been working with us for a while. And we always make a point to say, hey, you know what? The history is the foundation to the paranormal. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, but you can't go to any location and there's not any history to it. There's always going to be history, and we got to keep that history going. So we encourage people to come out to Fort Delaware during the day and see it during the day. And then, hey, come on out and join us for a paranormal investigation. But we just encourage people in general, go visit your historical locations, keep them going. And we're grateful that Delaware State Parks is taken us in and, you know, has given us the contract for their paranormal events at the fort. You know, we wouldn't have it any other way.
You see the feedback that a lot of, we have a great audience of really cool people, educated people in the field
you guys.
who come and watch. So that's a testament to what you bring. You have, like Tony knows, right? Marketing, you have touch points. Every time you interact with an audience, it's either good or bad. There's no neutral.
Right.
You made this appearance as good as it could have been. You've shown a tremendous evidence. You send a positive message with the fundraising for, you know, preserving history.
Yeah.
Great insights on how to vet your evidence while you're still at the location. I mean, this is a really, really good episode. Hopefully people will watch this again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And the comments are so awesome. We really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
It was great.
It was great having you. You guys are
Great
having you guys on.
Great evidence.
We'll be glad to
We'll bring you more.
if you have us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only come back if you have at least one piece of evidence that has the words Chris and stink in it.
We can manage that.
Well, you got the-
All right, I'll cover the stink part. You guys.
All right, real quick, Tony, what you got going on this week?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, we're moving one way or another. So we're still
This week?
buried in that. Well, it's packing, it's
Prepping,
sorting,
yeah.
cleaning. We've been doing that for the last month. But I would like to get my hands back on Staticom as soon as I can, just because
Well, you better.
lots of testing yet to do, and just want to put out some more amazing two-way communication that's just mind-blowing, and it definitely has raised the bar on being able to do that. So
Fantastic.
that's what we'll be doing.
And when we come down to work with Diamond State, we'll bring Staticom with you. And now, thanks to Tony's breakthrough, it'll be even better than it would have been. I think what I'm going to start doing this week is I'm going to start having a log, and I'm going to make sure that if Tony doesn't put a certain amount of hours in on the Staticom project, that he's fined or something, because he has to keep doing it. We're going to be at I don't know if you remember, a couple weeks I posted a couple pictures. Our friend Patrick in Bayonne, New Jersey, got us into a Masonic lodge.
Cool.
And she was in Florida being her Mima for the first time.
Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you.
But we're going back this Saturday, and Staticom, as it was 1.0, worked really well there, and it was an amazing spot.
Oh,
it was really cool. So we're going back Saturday. So I will hopefully have some really cool stuff to share from that. Compliments of 2.0. And James Patrick. Yeah.
Awesome.
Patrick James.
Oh, Patrick James. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, Patrick.
Dyslexic happens.
We will be sitting at home, and I will be catering to my wife. Audra goes in for her hand surgery tomorrow.
You need surgery for what happened to
Get
you?
away from the avocado. God.
Oh my God, baby.
And it's a thing, right? It's called avocado hand.
Yeah.
Have you removed all the avocados from the house?
Kyle's funny.
Yeah.
Actually, I told her no more knives, so she bought this ugly green-looking plastic thing. But it still has a point to it.
But
I said,
plastic.
I said, so it'll still go through your hand and just hurt worse. I said, no. But yes, she had some nerve damage to that nerve. She literally stigmatted her hand. It went in here and came out here.
Oof, man.
So they do have a kitchen utensil that will scoop it all out and cut it as it does it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, it's a great stocking stuffer.
Thank you, Todd.
They make gloves.
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah, quickly.
Roger called him Christoph all God.
She's only allowed to spoon. A very dull spoon. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out again. Our audience is always fantastic. There's always too many of you for me to go down the list, so we try and recognize you throughout the show, because we would be here till 3 a.m. if I went through the list now. But I wanted to say thank you guys for jumping in. We had some few new people come on because of Diamond State. Thank you guys for being here. It was fantastic.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really.
Thank you so much.
Great.
And remember, guys, if you want to contribute to history, make sure you get out to the Fort Delaware
Yep. July
and
1st.
support what they're doing up there at Fort Delaware. Make sure we protect that history.
Yep.
Also, if you want to hear something about Chris stinking,
We'll work
or
on
get a guy telling you no, he's not being naughty, so his wife doesn't find out, you got to go out with Diamond State. You got to go out and investigate. But most of all, guys, you got to stay haunted. We will see you guys next week. Have a good week, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?